We're going to go over the basics of how to do a Russian kettlebell swing. The Russian kettlebell swing is really a dynamic movement that is designed to work on grip strength, upper back and shoulder strength, and posterior chain, which basically means all of the muscles on the back of the body, the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back, and the upper back included. All right. What we're doing is we're basically going to pick up the kettlebell and we're going to use our hips. This is where a lot of people get confused with this movement. It's not a squat. Okay, you're not using your knees to go up and down. It's not going up and down with the weight. What's happening is you're making the kettlebell swing in an arc by pushing it forward. Okay, because it's attached to your arms, when you push it forward, it has to eventually go up in the air. Because of the momentum that your hip is providing, that's where the focus needs to be. Okay, if you've ever seen one of those perpetual motion machines with the balls, and you got one ball on the end, it hits the row of balls, the other ball shoots up on the other side. That's essentially what a kettlebell swing is. The force is going vertical, which makes the force is going horizontal, which makes the kettlebell go vertical, okay? Because of the pivoting of your arms, all right? Let's see what that looks like. So basically, you pick up the kettlebell, okay? Keeping your back flat. That's another key to this. If you don't use your hips, you're not gonna get the power. You can't pick up the kettlebell with your back rounded like this, okay? Stick your butt out. This is the focus of all the power, okay? Keeping the kettlebell up and tight inside. There should be no space here in your groin. You want to try to keep your wrists right in that high part of your inner thighs, okay? Otherwise, you lose a lot of power in the kettlebell when you're pushing. So I'm pushing back here, and then I'm pushing my hips, okay? I'm not doing anything with my arms right now. This is just my hips, popping the kettlebell, okay? Making the kettlebell go higher. The more I push with my hips, the higher the kettlebell goes. When you're doing a Russian kettlebell swing, you want the kettlebell to go right about eyeballs high. Okay, you'll notice, I'm just gonna keep doing this. My heels never leave the ground. I'm actually driving my heels into the floor. I'm not coming up onto my toes. Keeping my back flat. I'm not bending over a lot. Right, I'm not doing this. When I do this, right, that's my back doing all the work. Okay, chest up a little bit, hips go back, hips come forward. If you look at my hips, they're going forward and backwards. They're not going down. I'm not doing this. Okay, if you're squatting every time, you're not getting the right action. You're working your quads, not your butt. Let's not do that. Hips back, forward, push forward. The fastest part of this movement should be your hips every time you pop them forward. Notice my knees aren't going forward at all. I'm not doing this. Okay? Knees stay in place. Hips do all the work. All right, a couple things to remember. Keep your heels on the ground. Not coming up on our toes, okay? Our knees aren't doing the work. Our knees aren't going back and forth like this. It's all about bend at the knees, hips go back. There's a wall in front of you. You don't want to hit it, right? With your knees. Keep your knees back here, okay? A good thing you can do to test or to work on that is to get a bench. Okay, put your knees right up on the bench. Let's back this up a little bit. So now your shins are blocked. You can't move your knees. And you can focus on knees stay here, hips go back, push. Hips go back, push. Just make sure you keep your weight in your heels so your heels don't come off the ground, right? And it shows you how far you need to bend over to get your hips going backwards without making your back do all the work, okay? You should feel it right back here. If you do this right, you'll just keep your heels on the ground, you use your hips, and you keep this high in your groin, you won't hit the bench when you do your swing. Okay? Keep your back flat, use your hips, keep your heels on the ground. Don't pull with your arms. Your hips are doing all the work. You don't need to lift with your arms. All the power is coming from here. Your arms should not get tired doing this exercise. All right? That's the basics of the kettlebell swing. Good luck.